When traveling, where you go and what you see tend to be dictated by the infamous tourist traps. That's why we decided to take viewers through a few hidden gems located in historic St. Augustine, Florida. This beautiful town is full of different attractions, with the people of the town being so intriguing. It shares some old traditions and some new. This community is also known for its history. Some civilizations date back to the early 1600s. Now, since we're in our mid-20s, we don't know much about history, so we decided to consult with some experts in St. Augustine history at our first stop, the Colonial Quarter. The Colonial Quarter is a place that takes you back in time. With exhibits from the 16th to 18th century, you can check out a blacksmith or even an old-time rifle shop.
The history of the Colonial Quarter itself is it's a property that's been in the downtown area of St. Augustine, operated as a living history museum for several years under different managements. The city of St. Augustine had it for a while, and then it was turned over to the state of Florida along with the University of Florida.
Now, with exhibits like this 17th century watchtower to its 16th century sailing vessel being crafted, it's no wonder how you might be asking, is there a tour for all this stuff? So we decided to ask.
I'd have to say the most popular thing that we have to offer here at the Colonial Quarter is actually our tour. And now what we're doing is we're telling 3 centuries of St. Augustine's history in what we call a historic adventure tour, where we take you through the 15th, 16th, and 1700s and tell the stories of colonial history from a perspective from the residents of the town in comparison to the story that they tell across the street at the Castillo de San Marcos Fort.
The Colonial Quarter is a beautiful place full of history, gift shops, and restaurants, but what it doesn't have are pirates. That's why for our next stop, we decided to head around the corner to the Pirate Museum. With a museum this interesting, we knew there was bound to be some history behind its doors.
The history of the Pirate Museum starts essentially with Pat Croce, the founder and owner of the museum. He has been a pirate fan for his entire life, and he started collecting about 40 years ago, just pirate memorabilia, and put it all together in an exhibition.
There are so many exhibits to explore, but there are definitely a few that stand out above the rest.
Some of the more popular exhibits in the museum range anywhere from Captain Kidd's family Bible to Thomas Tew's treasure chest. Thomas Tew's chest is the only treasure chest that has been definitively traced back to an actual pirate. One of the popular galleries that we have is the what we call the Hollywood Pirates Gallery. And while we do celebrate the entire history of piracy, we acknowledge that piracy has really come into popularity due to the Hollywood movies.
You can even check out Captain Jack Sparrow's first sword used in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Now on the way out, find some treasure of your own at the gift shop or just a spooky souvenir. Speaking of spooky, the Colonial Quarter and the Pirate Museum didn't satisfy our need for a proper scare. That's why we made our way to the St. Augustine Lighthouse, a place of history and some haunting tales, including a ghost tour.
The business for our lighthouse tours is going great. We have daily admissions. We're open 7 days a week. General admission is $12.95 for adults, $10.95 for children and seniors. We have behind-the-scenes tours. We have every day from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the hour. We also do a weekend ghost tour. We have monthly sunset moonrise tours and some other VIP experiences as well.
There are so many historical elements surrounding this 219-step tower, such as the original construction in 1871. But we couldn't shake the thought of paranormal activity.
There are a lot of ghost stories that surround the lighthouse, a lot of rumors about it being haunted. We do have a lot of incidents and things that have happened that I find difficult to explain, and our guests are always really interested to get to know some of those stories and have some experiences of their own as well.
Experiences like the scent of cigar smoke lurking in the groundskeeper's house and the haunting of the 2 young sisters.
I haven't personally seen any of the little girl spirits anywhere on the grounds. I have seen the little wet footprints that show up every now and again. So that's kind of my experience there, which is more than enough, I feel, so we're good to keep it that way.
St. Augustine, Florida. A place just overflowing with history, exciting people, and some spooky specials. With so much to see, we're already itching to come back.